food. You know, take care of some of the important work.
Okay, so
I'm Samantha Thornton and I'm working with the Bay Area Recycling Team, and we are a group that's kind of formed from going through the Ford Leadership Institute program together, and we chose to do a recycling project to increase the availability of recycling in our community. It started mostly targeting the schools, the junior high schools, and we've also are trying to get it into businesses and the mall and a couple other local, maybe the airport, a couple other local places.
So this is a teaching thing to teach people what to do and how to...
That's included. We're kind of jumping around. Mostly we're just concentrated on getting the bins and getting the bins sponsored and getting them out in public. But yeah, we're all about education. And as far as what you can recycle, it's everything except glass can go into our bins because they don't want the glass to break. But paper, plastic bottles, aluminum cans, anything else that can be recycled, and it all just goes into one bin, and then it'll be taken out and dumped into a bigger bin, and that's picked up by the garbage companies, the normal recycling company.
Can I sponsor a recycled bin?
We would love you if you were sponsored a recycle bin.
And how do I do that?
Well, sponsoring a bin specifically is $150, and then you would have your name. And we're mostly asking like local businesses to do that. You have your name on the bin. But we also accept donations where they are tax deductible. The phone numbers off the top of my head.
All right.
Hey, Mom. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll share with you a little bit of what Takatina is. It's a rhythm process where making a mistake is a really, really good thing. Not a usual thing in our society. It is the fluctuation of being in chaos and then coming back in order. And it's a great practice for everyday life. I'll play this piece for you, and then after that, let's form a circle. Gradually open your eyes.
And then there's two others right next to it. One supports the act chair, like a horizontal,
And now from the left. Now, so what I would invite you to do is on each ga, just come just a little bit forward, so you kind of have a triangle under you. Left. So it says
we have a we have a
If you can make your way out of the sudden mist and rain, and I heard Paula brought that with her. Hi, Paula. The Fatina Mesa Belly Dance Troupe will be up in like 2 or 3 minutes, and it's a delight. They perform all around town and do the benefit stuff and everything. And great group of women.
Right through here's the spot, huh? My friend. do you know Eric? Eric, this is Bitten. Duggan, this is Eric.
Now
like weather.
Well, it's separating from the casting when it was all done.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would just take like big beds, like all digested.
So that was the wonderful Fatina Mesa enjoying the weather. Mistresses of the mist, as it were, Sumi. Wonderful job.
Be nice enough to describe what you're doing.
Recording what we're saying too. This is worm compost.
Worm compost.
Bessie was just sharing with me that when she was in Ecuador, she saw people with big worm compost like troughs, and they would separate the worm castings, which we're kind of trying to do, from the worms and the other edible stuff like eggshells by putting a really juicy, fresh source there that the worms would be attracted to, and then all the worm castings would be harvest that way.
Oh wow, that is a bonus. How to get the worms out of there.
Worm castings. There's some over there. Mostly just trying to make room in my worm bin for more recyclable. Check out that worm tea, which you're supposed to keep the worm compost kind of moist, and you can do that by just pouring water right over the top of it. And this one's kind of handy because it has a spigot on it, so you just turn the spigot, and when it rinses through all these worm castings or worm poop, it collects it and it makes this brown kind of water, and it's such strong fertilizer that it'll poison plants. You have to cut it with water like 1 to 5. And yeah, so all the stuff that normally would go in the trash, and people are like throwing their hot dog buns in here, I see as they walk by. I've collected a couple things from people's food waste today, but so all the stuff that otherwise would be going to the landfill or to your trash can is totally usable, and it saves you money buying soil amendments and fertilizers and stuff for your garden.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's where it belongs, in the earth. It doesn't belong in a trash pile because it's God's great gift, huh?
Another way to recycle.
We can edit my part out.
You can edit my part out too.
I'm the manager of Dutch Bros in North Bend, and I'm also the president of the Oregon Coast Music Association. And this year is our 30th anniversary, and we have a ton of stuff coming up. To mention, we have the Stolen Peach, which is a 1920s, 30s style swing jazz band. We have Molly's Revenge, which is a Celtic band that's going to be amazing at the Egyptian Theater. We also have the Tea Club, which is a positive dance reggae music style. We have a bunch of local musicians that are chipping in to help out, and we're going to have a big event for our festival opener in Mingus Park with wine and beer and food and music all day long. And of course, what separates us from other music associations is we have our own festival orchestra, which has been built over the last 30 years and is composed of musicians from all over the United States and internationally as well. And so this year we will be showcasing a Rachmaninoff piano concerto with an amazing concert pianist that is one of those things that you don't want to miss. It's a very unique experience when you see 70 to 80 people coming together to play music in time, in tune, to an amazingly complicated piece of music. It's absolutely moving, and if you've ever listened to classical music, it's different when it's live. It's breathtaking. It's one of the most amazing musical experiences that I've ever had. So come check that out. We'd all, everybody would love to see you, and we got a ton of stuff. So check it out on OregonCoastMusic.com. And also, I'm looking forward to gathering more musical information on our website about the music scene that goes on at Coos Bay in general. So if you have something that you're going to be performing, email me or the Oregon Coast Music Association website, and we'll try to get it on the website for you. Other than that, you come visit me at Dutch Bros. I'll talk to you about music. Come to an Earth Day event. I'll talk to you there, wherever. And just remember, reduce the amount of stuff that you're using. Try to reuse as much as you can, recycle as much as possible, and keep it green.
And repair. Repair what you can.
Well, you
you know you look like a silent type. Then she opened up a book of poems and handed it to me. Written by an Italian poet in the 13th century. Every one of those words rang true and they go like thunder and cold. For an hour of every page like I was written in my soul. For me to you, I was tangled up in the blue.
Association, and if you're wondering what a watershed is the area of land. It's all of the water that drains into a central water body. So all of the land drains water to a central water body, like a river or a lake. It's basically all of the area from ridge top to ridge top.
Oh, coming up the mountains and going into the rivers and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so if you think about it like a basin, so when it's raining, everything, the water is coming to the ground and it's all going to drain somewhere. And eventually, so in the Coos watershed, all of that water then drains eventually to the Coos River, as opposed to the Coquille River or a different thing. It happens in a watershed, whether it's up on the ridge tops, forestry operations, or rural residential areas. Everything that's happening on the land affects that water. And say if you have a garden, what you're putting on your soil or on your plants, it's eventually going to get into the water system. Whether even if it's soaking down into the soil, it's going to get into the groundwater. If you have a road system that's up, in the forested areas, for example, whatever is happening on that road, if there's sediment coming off of the road, draining into the ditches through the culverts, that's eventually getting into the river system and affecting, say, salmon habitat. Sediment is something that we deal with a lot. We do a lot of roads projects and culvert replacement projects. Sediment is just like fine dirt particles that gets into the water, makes the water cloudy, for example. But it also settles out on the bottom of a stream bed where it disrupts spawning habitat for salmon. They need nice, clean gravel to lay their eggs in. And when the gravel gets covered with mud and sediment kind of stuff, it fills in all the spaces between the rocks, and it keeps oxygen from getting to the eggs, so the eggs basically suffocate.
Do you guys have a website? Or
We do have a website, and it's just www.cooswatershed.org.
CoosWatershed.org.
You know, there's more and more cities that are looking at how to treat their wastewater and how to protect their water sources, and realizing more and more that actually protecting the land within their watershed, where their water comes from, is actually more cost effective than building big treatment and filtration.
Hello, my name is Brian Duggan. This is Coos Bay, Oregon, Everyday Earth Day, May 2008. This is Godzilla, and I'm here to talk about my bike Godzilla, and it's a collaboration between my cousin Sako Klunin up in Seattle and myself this past Christmas or solstice 2007. I've been talking about making my own tall bike for a while. See, the idea, I don't know, it's not my original idea. It's been hashed out by many good people before. You know, just take old bikes, recycle it, the ultimate in recycling. Take old bikes, take whatever you got, chop it up, and recreate something. This is an art expression. It's not a bar straight, but then we were messing around with this and came up with, hey, highway bars. I don't know if it's been done before on a tall bike, but it just worked for this one, because then we didn't really have to chop up anything else to get a single bar. We just took the forks and, like it looks like, just put two right on top of each other. And I don't know what else. I don't know. I love riding a tall bike. This one's actually, unless you got a tree, it's hard to like that. So I might make a fool of myself getting on here. I don't think I've got the right parts for it either.
Oh, you mean the one down there?
When you go to Plan B. There you go. That's what it's all about. Just getting on a ride. Next bicycle idea would be a tall chopper bike. Hi, Lars.
Did you have fun today?
Yes.
And what does Earth Day mean to you? What does it really mean?
Well, we celebrate the Earth and we celebrate
Each other?
Each other, and we celebrate lots of other things and trees and everything.
Well, I was happy to participate in Earth Day because I think it is a celebration of the Earth and people, and that the best way for people to get reconnected with the Earth is to cut out the large-scale corporations and look to other people in our own community to figure out how we can serve each other's needs. There are so many resources here. There's really no reason that we have to continue Coos Bay's 200-year tradition of relying on outside interests to tell us what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So functions like this, when people come out and start talking to each other, the ideas are there, the people are there, the resources are there. We're going to start organizing through your website, actually, a county-wide forum to help develop real manufacturing potential that's locally owned and locally sustainable, so we can start producing for ourselves. I design solar systems primarily for homes and commercial applications, just to help people create their own power on home. on site rather, but I think even more importantly, the other side of my business works with people to help minimize their needs. A lot of us, if we just think about how we're building and how we're using our power, we can get a lot more efficient and not need to create and use so much electricity. So those are kind of the two sides of Soul Coast, our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about footprint and what that really means? And I've heard a lot of footprint has been a big buzzword around here, and what does that really mean?
Well, so the concept of, and I'll get to footprint, the concept of sustainability is using our resources at a rate that's less than the rate of regeneration of whatever those resources are. So then you have no footprint means I'm using nothing. If I have a light footprint, it means I'm using at that rate. I'm sustainable. Things are being created at a rate that's faster than I'm consuming them. If I have a big footprint, then I have no concern for what I'm consuming. I'm consuming faster than the earth is regenerating, which is what we're doing here in this society. So the bigger your footprint, the worse off you are. You want to travel light.
And what can I do to reduce my footprint?
Oh gosh, that's a...
Is that a tough one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's multifaceted. I was hearing a story about some families that were trying to just stop spending money, period, on everything. They just did a study. They thought, okay, how can we go for a week without spending money? Or how can we go for a month? And then tried to get to 6 months and a year. And what they found was that they lost all of their money just in compulsive spending. And that particularly in this society, we are encouraged to buy things and we're encouraged to feel like we need things that we really don't need. And the first thing to do to lighten your footprint is just to quit spending and really become conscious about what you're doing and what you're buying and what you're using and why it is. And if you become conscious about it and think about it, then you'll find that you'll automatically lighten your footprint. The next steps then entail actually saving up money and investing them, I think. You know, we had an electric car here today. That's a considerable investment, but boy, I mean, you put PV panels on your house and create electricity from the sun and then drive to work in an electric car. That's a lot of work. You know, you don't just get up tomorrow and do that. But there are all kinds of, that's a huge question, lots of answers.
I've heard that that this particular area is really good for
alternative energy?
Yeah, can you tell me why?
Well, what's interesting is originally when the state looks at solar resource, we've got specific multipliers that we use. For a watt of DC power you put on your roof, how much AC power is that going to give you in a year? And here they actually have us rated lower than the valley, say Eugene, because they have more sunshine during the summer and a longer summer. What they find is we actually produce more AC power per DC put on your roof here, and what they call that is the clouding effect. And if you scroll around right now, Eric, this is a great example of our clouding effect. A little bit of sunshine that gets in here just continues to reflect off the sunshine, and we actually generate a lot more power. People think that solar power is synonymous with heat, and it's not. The part of the sun's rays that we make electricity from are not heat rays. And in fact, solar panels don't like operating at high ranges. The colder they are, the more efficient they are. So when you couple our clouding effect with our cooler coastal winds, it's a good place. And of course we have wind and lots of rivers and small micro hydro and really intelligent people out and about, that things like Earth Day get people together to swap ideas. So
very good. Well, thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.
Peace be unto you, brother.